Gotta stop this damn nonsense. Stop getting on your brother about how you speak a language that's not even that would not that wasn't originally ours. When it comes to our African ancestors, stop that shit. That's why I keep saying you're a Black American because of that reason right there. Because if you was an African, you wouldn't be getting on another brother for speaking a language that wasn't our African ancestors' languages. Cut the fucking bullshit, man. Cut the fucking bullshit. It's like the same thing with people when you talking about when black people get on other black people for giving giving their kids names that don't sound Eurocentric. Like you fucking stupid, calling it ghetto names. How is it ghetto names? Tell me how is it ghetto names? So it's only because they don't want because these people don't want to. These people want to fucking name their kids Tom and Jerry and shit like that. I mean, what the fuck is wrong with y'all, man? I can see if y'all say don't name them these names because we got it's names in Africa that we can name our fucking kids. No, y'all don't talk like that. Y'all just it sound ghetto. What's sounding ghetto? What name sounding ghetto? So basically, if somebody come up with a name that a black person come up with a name that don't sound like a white person's name, it's ghetto. Yeah, that's stupid, man. That's dumb. And then y'all black people who think this way, y'all need to get your heads cut off. All right. That's like saying the Igbos get laugh at the fucking Eurobirds because they speak they name their kids different from the Igbos. Like, come on, man. Like, come on. That's the problem I have. Y'all don't talk about, you should give an African name. Y'all don't say that shit. No. Y'all basically say, you should just give them, I shouldn't give them a ghetto name, and that's it. But what name we should name them? Oh, William, Tom, and this. Get the fuck out of here, man. Get out of here. That's white people names. Get the fuck out of here. No. Right? Because if that's the case, then you disrespect me. Even though Barry is derived from an Irish name, the bottom line is my whole name is Barry Tunn. So that's like Irish English. That's made up. That's made up. So you basically dissing me too. You basically saying my mother gave me a ghetto name. How that make any sense? No, my mother would know what she was doing. She know her fucking history. But the people anyway don't really get on my name anyway. They think my name is exotic anyway. I heard a lot of people say that. Oh, you got an exotic name. Then some people may assume they say I'm saying Barrington, which is really a name, but it's not with ing, but it's YTON. But the thing is that no. Stop with the bullshit, man. Stop with the bullshit. People can name their kids anything they want to name their kids. All right? And this is the problem. This is the problem with black people in America, man. Like, we always want to try to compare ourselves with the Africans, but yeah, we sure act more Anglo than anything. The way we talk, where we speak, where we act. Just give me to Africa, period. I was looking at an article, and somebody was saying the misconception of Africa. And two things that stood out to me: one, that Africa is not a country, which I know that already because a lot of Africans over there don't like the fact that people treat like it's a country. And the other thing was that this person said black Africans, and he was basically saying that Africa is not a race. And the truth is, it's not a race. Oh yeah, by the way, the song that I was talking about with Prince is called "How Come You Haven't Called Me? You Don't Call Me." That's the Prince song I was talking about. That Stephanie Mills did first, and then Alicia Keys came and did later on. Why You Don't Call Me? That's the song. Prince wrote that song. But getting back to on topic, it's not a race. I keep telling you over and over again, it's not a race. Only in black people in America think it's a fucking race. Not all black people, but these Afrocentric guys think it's a race. I had debated with this guy online who basically said, "You're an African no matter where you go. If your ancestors named to Africa, fuck all that bullshit. No, you're not. All right, because it's a continent, number one." And I told him straight up. I said when the race that's considered black was formed, there was no such thing as Africa, and it wasn't. All right, 40,000 years ago, that continent was not called Africa. I said it, and I told him it was made. That name was made by European. He turned back around and said, "Oh yeah, you're right. It was named by European. It wasn't no such thing as Africa." But no. Once I said that and you agree with me, that should have been in the discussion right there. Right? That should have been in the discussion right there. Africa don't have nothing to do with your race. Don't have nothing to do with your race. It's a continent. Okay? Just like Europe. Just like Asia. It's a fucking continent. Then he tried to make me again about black is African. You're black, you're an African. And I told him again. I said, you're wrong again. I said, because everybody in Africa was not black, and everybody who was considered black is not African. And I broke it down to him. I said, number one, the Berbers from North Africa are not black. They're Mediterranean Caucasians. All right? They're Mediterranean Hamite Caucasians. So number two, the Melanesians are considered black Negroid, but they native to Southeast Asia. And they're black. So you're wrong about that. And then I told him about Europe. I said, Europe is not all white people. Because there's certain parts of Europe around Russia where you got people who look like Chinese people. Because they're in the same race as Chinese people, which is called Mongoloid. Right? Then he also said something about the term African American. He said the reason why he called African American is not because of citizenship, it's because of ancestry. That's why we call African Americans. I told him you're wrong again. He said the reason why we call African American because a guy named Jesse Jackson decided to coin the term in the late 80s to stop white people from calling us Negroes and coloreds. Just like Malcolm X tried to do in the 60s by trying to get us to name ourselves Afro-Americans. So he was wrong on that too. Then he comes back around and try to tell me that the Berbers was first black and they came out of East Africa. I told him wrong again. I said Berbers were never black because when one group left out of Africa 70,000 years ago, one group split from another group in the Middle East, and that group became Caucasian. Those Caucasoid people spread it across Europe, which we call white people, across the rest of West Asia, which we call the Arabs and the Persians and them, and North Africa, which is where the Berbers are at now, about 40,000 years ago. This is where they spread it all over North Africa, West Asia, and most of Europe. I also told them that black people who stayed in Africa did not pass the Sahara Desert at that time that the first group left out of Africa. They couldn't pass the Sahara Desert. They didn't have the means to do it. So they spread it across the rest of Africa, south of the Sahara Desert. I said those people did not get into North Africa until over 30,000 years later, after the Caucasians came into North Africa. You know, he never hit me back. I was waiting for him to answer that. And I also told him that genetically, all Africans are not the same. Black Africans are not the same. I said the East Africans are genetically different from the West Africans. Same thing with South Africans. I said, why I say that? Because every time a black person who in America who descended from slaves take their fucking DNA test, all their ancestry come out of West Africa. So what they tell you? They tell you that we was never fucking Nubians, Egyptians, East Africans, South Africans, which is Zulus. He never hit me back. Because he was an Afrocentric. That's what it was. He was an Afrocentric. And I understand all Afrocentric is bad. But there's some extreme ones that basically don't get it. And basically try to do the same thing that the Eurocentrics do. Try to claim shit that's not ours. I'm not claiming North Africa, I'm not claiming East Africa, and I'm not claiming South Africa. I'm claiming where my ancestors really came from, which is West Africa. And that's what black Americans and black Caribbeans and black Hispanics should be doing. Stop this Afrocentric bullshit. All right? It's cool that you want to know about Africa itself. If you're going around and trying to embrace Africa as a whole because that's where your ancestors came from, and you just want to embrace the continent as a whole, that's cool. But don't do it to the fact and when I look at the fucking African diaspora, all I fucking see is people that look like they came straight out of West Africa. I want to see Berbers in the African diaspora too. People who descended from Berbers that live in America now. Like fucking French Montana. When I start seeing people like French Montana being a part of the African diaspora because you're embracing Africa, then come talk to me. If you're not going to do that, and all I see is people that's descended from West Africans, do not come in with that bullshit. Because all you're trying to say is that we own all of Africa, and we don't not own all of Africa. Black people do not own all of Africa, and our fucking ancestors did not come from all over Africa. Okay? When I start seeing people like French Montana in that motherfucker, and the African diaspora, people that look like him, who's a Berber, who ain't black, but he got black in him anyway. He said that. He said he's mixed. But you know what I'm saying? Like somebody who mostly Berbers look like him. So I see Berbers that look like him in African diaspora. Don't talk to me about this African shit. Because every person I saw that they talk about the African diaspora are usually people who descended from West Africans through slavery. All right? Bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. All right? You're not going to sit up here and tell me that the second biggest continent on the fucking world had nothing but black people on it. When North Africa is set far away from the equator and right across the Mediterranean Sea from fucking Europe. And the Sahara Desert is blocking the rest of fucking Africa from the north, where people couldn't even cross over when they were and it was isolated down south to the Sahara Desert. But why they stay black? I don't want to hear that shit. All right. The bottom line is, y'all, you gotta know your fucking history and know that right. All right. That's the bottom line. You're not gonna do it. You're not gonna do it to me at all. I'm gonna speak the truth. And if you don't like the truth and try to call me a coon, then so what? I don't care. Because I woke the fuck up. I started seeing a lot of shit that was bugged out. And I was saying, this ain't sounding right. This is not right. All right? This is not right here. You know. See, America want to show you what they want to show you. That's just the bottom. They want to show you what they want to show you. And that's the shit that bugs me out. Because now you got y'all motherfuckers over here thinking y'all something you're not. Have y'all going around thinking y'all fucking pharaohs and shit. Fuck out of here. Your ancestors were never a pharaoh. Your ancestor was a fucking West African that became a slave. So we need to focus on West Africa and know that history of Africa and stop neglecting it like we do in America. Okay? That's the bullshit. Right? Africa's a big ass continent, and when I look at some of the people that's come out that's on the other side of the continent, I'm like, yo, those people are totally genetically different from us. I look at some of the Nubians that's over there, man. I'm like, wait a second. These people look like they could pass for people that live in India. Come on, man. Like, stop it. Straight hair and all. Come on, man. skin color tan.